And we've ended up in a situation where now everybody's on a 6061 because once you've heard them, you can't really go back. My name's KHALIL and I'm Associate Sound Designer for Wicked here in the UK. So with the introduction of the 6061, that meant that the capsules got small enough that they would fit the aesthetic of the show so that we could hide them well enough, and that the sound designer was pleased with how they looked and how they sounded. So we slowly started introducing them and putting them on individual people till eventually we've covered the whole cast in them. The thing I think I love most about these 6061s is that you'll put them on a person and immediately they bring out details and nuances in that person's voice that were just not there before. And that person didn't sound bad, but it's just you immediately notice, okay, we've gone up a level. I mean, I've always been one of these people that have been a firm believer that if you start off with the right mic for the right source in the right position, then that is the battle mostly done. In terms of mic positioning on the 6061s, we've, to kind of get a fair representation of, how they sound compared to what we were using, we've gone for putting them in the same place. And immediately you notice that you get more bang for your buck. So we've actually been able to kind of hide them even better because you can shift them higher up and still get the same amount of level, and they still sound great. One of the things I love about these mics is that no matter where they end up on somebody, or, if they're kind of buried under a hat somewhere, or all the kind of things that interfere with the sound in the theatre world, or if you've got them rigged as an ear hanger, you can make it sound convincing. It can sound really great. So yeah, they're a very versatile mic. So you'll typically find that most of our channel EQs are pretty flat, and what we're doing is we're correcting for little nuances in people's voices or positional things, like for example if we've used the mic over the ear, we correct to kind of bring out some of that kind of positional EQ. So yeah, nothing major. And the 6061s are a very transparent mic. They're very detailed, so it just makes it a lot easier, makes that whole workflow, especially when you're working through a sizable ensemble, and you've often got limited time when people are speaking, just to kind of dip in there and do something quickly. If you've got a mic that just sounds good as is, then that's such a benefit. We've also been lucky enough to get one of the new 4055s on the kick drum, which is gone down very well, let me tell you. EQ-wise, it's fairly flat, so I've added a bit of the top end just to bring out some of the beta. There's a bit of resonance from the actual drum booth itself that hangs around near the bottom end, so I've just lost a bit of that, and just added a bit of the lower end as well, just to kind of give it a bit of wallop on the low end. But it sounds really nice, and that's the thing with this mic. It's kind of, when you EQ it, it becomes more of a scalpel than a broadsword. You can actually just use it to bring out little details and be very selective, and you feel that the mic's actually responding to what you're trying to achieve. So around the toms, we're using the 4099s with the drum clip mics, and we've got the 2011s on snare top and bottom. And yeah, it's been a real improvement. And the musicians love them because they're small, unobtrusive, don't get in the way of the playing. It helps us out so much because it just gets rid of that inconsistency that you get from different mic positions from night. We have obviously different players that come in, they don't always sit the same distance away from the microphone. So being able to clip a mic on and just knowing that it's going to be where it needs to be and gives us that consistency is such a great benefit. And like I say, the players like the sound that they hear in their ears as well. It's just that regular rock solid DPA quality.